Can I start now? Hold on one second. Bismillah. أيوة الحمد لله رب العالمين. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفر ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Hey, you gotta get off the radiator, okay? Ladies especially, I want you to pay attention to this because you are usually home with the children and you are the first teachers for these different issues and usually the most ignorant about these issues. So you have to pay attention. And again, like I said, when the women were more knowledgeable, the ummah was more knowledgeable. So the onus is upon you guys. You don't want to hear that stuff, the men are holding us down. That ain't the case. Let's get busy, doing it. This is called Bidayatul Mutafaqqih. And in this book, we have just a skeleton of the fiqh issues right here. And so I mentioned earlier in another lesson the issues of tahara. We are dealing with tahara. Tahara. Okay, what does tahara mean? Stop whispering, guys. Speak out. Be loud and proud. Make it wrong and we get corrected. What is it? Purification, right. Raising up of what? Contaminants. Getting rid of contaminants, right? In this chapter, and why does this chapter precede everything else? Okay, why does this chapter precede everything else? We have to be mutafaqihun. What does this chapter precede salah? Say again? It's a prerequisite. Say, okay, that's correct. That's the answer right there. But what did somebody else say over there? What did you say? If we're not purified, we won't have salah. Right, because if you're not purified, you don't have salah. What did you say? Right, it's a prerequisite. So we learn a principle in this. We don't want to lose the principles. Teach the same principle that we start with tahara because it's a prerequisite. And anytime you have a prerequisite of something, it holds the same ruling of something. Now we're in fiqh, right? So fiqh is the law room. Okay, in the law room, I get to go over here and do my thing again. In the law room, we have the law. Okay? The law is 5. What are the 5 laws? Wow. No, Quran, that's not a law. What is the first law? Wajib. Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Now, what's the second law? We can say haram. We can say haram. The order doesn't make a difference. Give me the third one. Mustahab. Mustahab. Okay, then we have makruh. And then we have mubah. Okay? One time I wrote makruh wrong, man. It was like, I wrote it wrong, makruh. It's with a hat, okay? Not with a hat. I saw it on the board one time I was watching the video. I was like, man, that's ugly. Big mistake. Anyway, these are the 5 laws that we're going to deal with. And we have to deal with something else. There's 2 types of fard. There's 2 types of fard. What are they? So there's ayn and kifaya. So these are 2 types of determinations that we deal with in law. As a mutafaqih, as a faqih, you have to know the ruling of everything you're doing at every moment you're doing it. That is the rule of your life. And this is a cultural rule because in every culture you have these 5 things. Every single culture. Okay? In American culture, it's the same thing. It gets confusing sometimes, but these are the rules. So our culture is the culture of Islam. You see that? Now, what is the ruling for learning this? Is it fard ayn or kifaya? What is fard ayn, ladies? What is fard ayn, ladies? I can't hear you. Something that you have to do. Something that every single person has to do. And then you're not free from doing it if someone else does it for you. What if Yasin says, okay, I will tell you, look, you busy, well, I'll offer your asr for you. I'm gonna do you a favor. I'm gonna pray asr for you. Hook up, you get it. Yeah. I was like, yeah, see. But that's not correct, right? Impossibly, right? But if he says, look, we're gonna establish the salah. You guys are busy. You can't come to the masjid because you're busy doing something else and you don't hear the adhan. We're gonna establish the salah. Can he do that? Am I free from establishing the salah? No. That's not true, guys. It's fard kifaya. Establishing the salah in the masjid is a fard kifaya on the community. Everybody doesn't have to come. If everybody had to come, then we have to go get everybody, right? And we couldn't establish the salah. But since it's not fard, that's one. It's not fard ayn on every single body to go. It is a fard kifaya on the jama'ah. If we don't do it, then all of us are in trouble. Okay? But if some of us stand up to do it, the rest of us are forgiven. We got a break. Right? Even though, let's say I ain't going in the masjid. Forget that, man. I'm mad at that brother. Okay? I ain't going. But the other brothers established the salah. Has the obligation for establishing the salah been lifted off of me? Yes, it is, because I'm a part of the community. It's a communal thing. Guys, I'm trying to teach you the principle. You got it wrong twice. Okay? Understand, a fard kifaya is a communal obligation. It's on the whole the community to do it. Everybody's in trouble if you don't do it. But if some of the men, it's always only a few good men that get up and they establish that thing, the sin for not doing is lifting off of all the rest of the bums that don't go. You understand? So that's the beauty of it. Yes, sir.
Maybe an example would help.
Sure. I was going to give janazah next. Jazakumullah khair. The next example that I was going to give in that regard, the janazah. Somebody is passed away and I can't go. Let's say I can't go because I have my wares outside and I'm selling. There's an actual reason in the Sharia. If I leave myself, somebody's going to steal it. This is the Bronx. Okay? So, and if I pack it up, then I'm going to miss the trip, right? Because this is New York. We don't have the place to bury him here uptown. We got to go outside of the city. So, I don't go, but the community goes. Is the sin lifted from me from not following my brother's janazah? Yes, because the community stood to do that thing. That's fard kifaya and fard ayn. Why am I spending a lot of time on this? Because here, fard ayn is very important. The talib al-ilm starts with the fard ayn, not the fard kifaya. And we see so many tulab, so many students, starting with fard kifayat, and they don't establish the fard ayn. Okay? You have to learn fard ayn, and that is what you have to do to purify yourself, getting it right in your head, what your Lord is all about and everything. What does it say in Al-Akhdari? The first thing that I have to do when I become mukallafun, accountable from this here day, my actions call on me to blame, is look to see what faith demands, if I complied with its demands. What do I think about Allah? Why it's correct and what's the flaw? And then I have to learn the things I need to do my fardu. Like regulations of salah and just how much to pay. The parts of hajj I have to do. It's Ramadan and I hajj. Right? So this obligates all Muslimin to learn the laws and what they mean. Okay? This is from Al-Akhdari, with some tasrif into English, But it's the same thing. Right? It's the same. These are the rules. And as a mutafaqih, we have to know the fardu ayns. And the first thing of it is, where is Allah? Who is Allah? What our obligations are to Allah? What is Islam about? Have I complied with the commands of Islam? Because prior to this case, you could have been following your old culture. Now you want to become Muslim. Just because you were born in a Muslim type culture doesn't mean you're Muslim. Okay? Now you have to, with intention, like the person who doesn't make zina in fiqh. If he doesn't make zina and he doesn't have the desire to make zina, he doesn't get a reward for not making zina. The person that gets the reward for not making zina is the one who had the desire to make zina and said, no, because Allah told me not to, I'm not going to do that. Then he gets the reward for not making zina. Do you understand? And the one that doesn't get a reward for he wanted to make zina, but she said no. He doesn't get a reward for not making zina. He gets the punishment. He opens himself up for the punishment for trying to make zina. You understand? Because if he went there and nobody answered the door, or he got shy because the father came out, So this is the thing. So you have to have the intention. Innamal a'malu, right? So the deeds are by their intention. So if you do these things just because you're following your mother and father, or because this is what you learned back at home, and you don't have the intention of doing this because Allah ordered me to please Allah, because ibadah is a kalimatun jami'atun, is a comprehensive word that includes everything that Allah loves and pleased with, right? So you're doing this because you're doing it to please Allah, right? That's what your object, because innamal a'malu bi. So if you're doing it because you're pleasing Allah, then that's what you get the reward for your worship. But if you're doing it because this is your adat, then that's what you get the reward for.